Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for World Trigger Chapter 55. I would have had the review up yesterday, but I was working on a project all day, and I'm still kind of tired from doing it, but yeah. This chapter was cool, I guess. I liked it. Most of the chapter focused on Hughes and Visa, and, the situation going on over there. Hughes decided that he wanted to go take on Tamakoma and all them and get Chica, and he told Visa to just back him up, which I thought, maybe he'll do one thing, Visa will do another thing, but no, Visa's kind of just sitting there doing nothing. So it's I thought that was an interesting strategy. Though I guess doing it that way, they might actually end up forgetting about Visa and then get caught off guard. So I guess that's one benefit to it, I guess, especially since Hughes probably won't. Maybe it'll be when Konami gets in. Well, who cares? I'll talk about that later. One thing I thought was interesting was that Hughes called Visa Mr. Visa. However, Visa called Hughes Lord Hughes. So I guess Hughes is like kind of high up in After Crater. Like he's got some I guess he's like from like some like wealthy family or something. I don't know, for Visa to call him Lord, that's maybe I just never noticed him calling other people that before, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Um, but once Hughes goes in there and he starts attacking, he essentially uses Zenbone Sakura, which is Byakuya Kuchiki's Shikai, and his Bankai. Really, it's pretty much the same thing, just more, but just bigger quantity. But he essentially uses Zenbone Sakura, and he creates like all these little like metallic blades and things like that. Like little like triangular blades and stuff. It was actually kind of cool. It looked cool. Um, Reiji and Karasuma, they decided that they would go and deal with those two, and they told Konami to go take care of the mod rabbits. And Reiji said that she had 3 minutes. So at first I thought there was like a time limit on her abilities, like she can use some like special move or something like that, some special transformation for for 3 minutes, and then after that she'd be back to normal. But apparently no, it's not. It was just like a challenge, I guess, to her because she came back and said, "Now I only need 1 minute," right? So I guess it was more of a challenge than like an actual time limit. Though she did transform. No, she didn't transform, but she transformed her weapon. When she fought against the Mod Rabbit, she combined her two like little blade things into one big axe, a Sogetsu, and she just took him out. She just took him out. It was simple. She took him out. Well, screw 1 minute. She did in like a page and a half. No, not a page and a half. But it didn't even take a minute. So that was cool. Um, Hughes, when he was fighting well, not really fighting Reiji and Carson, it's not really much of a fight. It's like they're just buying time essentially. Hughes, he had his little blade things form like these little mini kunai knives, right? And he just like shot them at Karasuma and Reiji. Karasuma put up another shield to block it. Um, these dudes brought like machine guns out or something. They're just sitting there shooting at Hughes. I have no clue where they got those things from, but whatever. They're shooting at him. Uh, Hughes is reflecting the Trion bullets off of his blades, I guess, and they go back. The bullets just go back to Rage and Karasuma. So, but they don't get hit by it. They dodge, and they pretty much come up with a plan. Can't really call it much of a plan, but they pretty much just say they'll just keep doing what they're doing and wait for Konami to try and hit him from his blind spot, which is probably when Visa's going to come in and do something. That plan is not going to work. It's not even really a plan, so it's definitely not going to work. And before I talk about what's going on with Enidora and Cosmo Squad, there was this scene where Replica was talking about the Tamakoma triggers and how they're different from the triggers in HQ. Because unlike the triggers in HQ, the Tamakoma triggers are like personalized for each user, pretty much. It's actually kind of cool. when Rindo came back from the neighborhood, he brought back this trigger with him, and they are using that neighborhood technology in order to create these triggers, and it actually hasn't been approved yet by Border. So I find it interesting. Well, I guess you gotta experiment in some way, shape, or form. So you gotta test it out to before it can get approved. So I guess they're in that phase right now. It's not like they're just going against Border's orders and like using illegal technology and stuff, like illegal triggers and stuff. Like this is probably like the test phase. Um, but these personalized triggers pretty much allow you to fight better because each person has something that they specialize in, and the triggers pretty much emphasize those skills that they have. Um, as far as Konami's goes, hers is like gives her more firepower and stuff, and it ignores her Tryon. It ignores her Tryon efficiency, and it's just like she's just gonna go all out for a few minutes for a short battle, and it just makes it much easier, makes her more dominant. However, for like an opponent like Hughes or Visa, she wouldn't do that because then she would just get worn out too quickly. Um, there was this one panel during the scene where we saw Rindo and Shiori and Rindo's nephew, like what is his name, Yotaro, and there are two other people in the background. I don't remember seeing those two before, but if we legit haven't seen them before, then they'll probably show up at some point if they're in that picture. But yeah, I think they look like they'd be relevant. Like Daisuke Ashihara literally went out of his way to make sure we didn't see their faces. It was like the most unnatural picture ever. They were just like looking at the walls and they had their back to the camera. Like, they were like he could have had, well, if he had them facing the camera and then he just blacked out their faces, that would have made it like incredibly obvious. And so that they're like, oh no, not really. Because sometimes you do that with fodder characters. You just don't care enough to give them a design. But whatever. They may or may not be important later on. Alright, who knows? Who knows? Alright. One last thing, which isn't really important right now, but probably will be in the future, is that Tamakoma doesn't participate in the ranking wars. So that's a cool little fact for you. And Konami fights like a neighbor. Those are like the two little facts that you get there. So that's interesting. It's pretty cool. That's pretty much all there is to talk about the Tamakoma Hughes Visa situation. Almost dropped my phone. The rest is Kazuma Squad and Enadora. Pretty much Enadora, he has this like liquid goo slime stuff seeping out of his like heel, and it goes into the cracks in the ground and starts to seep up, and he has these like little spike things shoot up underneath Kazuma Squad. But Shiro has a side effect that actually lets him see this coming and lets them dodge. So they're going to be relying on him in the next chapter, assuming they stick with the scene. For this fight, they'll be relying on him. One would assume his side effect is similar to Jean's, but I don't think it's that. I think it's like I don't know. It has. I'm trying to the way it was drawn. It's like he came to a sudden realization. Not like he had not like his side effect gives him like really good eyesight and he could see the stuff seeping into the cracks or something like that. Like it looked like he just came to a sudden realization. Like he was just told all of a sudden what he needed to do, or told all of a sudden that the threat was from below ground. Maybe it's like a side effect that lets him know when he's in danger, and like almost like yeah, like maybe it's a side effect that lets him know when he's in danger or something. I don't know. It's definitely like a foresight prediction type of thing. But yeah, we'll get more details later. Overall, I'll give this chapter, or I guess 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was cool. It wasn't like an action-packed chapter or anything. It gave us information pretty much. That's the gist of what happened in this chapter. It gave us information, which was cool, and it developed the different scenes that are going on there. So yeah, I'll give this chapter 7.5 out of 10, and that's that. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.